Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Kishore, Kishori Jaya, 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 Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्री अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगद्गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजा भूमि वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की पुरुषोत्तम माई की यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की साम वेद भक्त वृंद की बृहद मृदंग की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, glories, glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada की जय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निते नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। मूखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं चैतन्यमाधवं परमानन्दमीश्वरम्। So Hare Krishna to everybody. Welcome back to today's Gita class. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, so today we have our special guest, Acharya Nishta Prabhu. Okay, one of the temple residents at one point of time. Right now he's going around and doing book distribution and kirtan, and wherever he gets chance, he does a lot of things. So I just thought, let me invite him to our class today. Thank you for Prabhu for taking your time and then joining here. So actually, I was just thinking, because I told you, but I don't know whether you were really making it or not. And I was just thinking, I thought it should not be overwhelming and pushing you. That's great you came. I'm so happy for that. So what we are doing is the second chapter, Prabhu, we are in. So we just completed a 45th verse. And generally what I do is I continue from where we stopped. Okay. That is this verse. And I have certain presentations also with me, and I generally use them. Okay. So, but then I will leave it up to you. You want to speak half an hour, 1 hour, whatever you want, and you want to speak on Bhagavad Gita or anything specific, I can remove this. Don't worry about it.
Last time's verse?
Yes, last time's verse. And I will just recap 1 or 2 verses before, and then we will get on with that. So, what do you think you would like to do today?
It sounds good, Boo. It all sounds good. You can do a recap, then we can discuss this verse.
Okay, that's great. Then anybody remembers what are the points which we discussed last time? Let's begin with that.
So, we were discussing about how the less intelligent men are attracted by the flowery words of the Vedas. The Vedas have a specific section on Karma Kanda, on the fruitive activities.
Very good.
So, the less intelligent people are attracted to the Karma Kanda, that portion of the Vedas, and because they want material opulences, wealth, fame, and in that way they are bound to the material world. And we also studied about how those who are Krishna conscious are resolute in their determination, and those who are irresolute, their intelligence is many branched.
Very good. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Anyone else want to add anything?
To add on, like how to get free from dualities.
Wow. Yeah, that's really very important. Fine. So what is the dualities there? We have to understand or deliberate.
Yeah, like just get rid of success or failure to your karma.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody would like to add?
Learning to tolerate the dualities.
Learning to tolerate the dualities. We saw that dualities are like success and failure, day and night, happiness and distress. Somebody appreciates us, somebody criticizes us, but we are simply untouched with that. You see, there is a wonderful example, which I remember in the same context. So, if we take the pure milk and you start pouring water in it, what it is going to happen? Is it going to have an impact?
Yes.
What is the impact?
Diluted.
It is diluted,
Characters.
right? So the more we water, more we add the water, it gets diluted. Now, that's our position today. We are all contaminated. I mean, when a conditioned soul is in a contaminated stage, so anything happens around once, whether good or bad, he's impacted. Agree or not? Something good happens, I think, wow, I made it. I am the doer of everything, right? That's how we think of ourselves, and then we become more and more happy and proud and greedy and whatnot. That's one way of impact. The other side, when we see something we lose, we get disappointed, depressed. Why everything is happening like that only to me? Does anybody get that question? Why only to me? Yeah. Sometimes we get into that syndrome called why only to me. It's actually not only why to me, but to everybody. So still we are negatively impacted there, also impacted, right? In either of the cases, we are impacted. Now the milk example, interestingly, the milk, when it is added little yogurt, what it will become? It will convert into yogurt, correct? And then when you churn it, and then what do you get out of it? Butter, right? Now you get a lump of butter, put in the water. What will happen? What will happen to the butter? Floats, very good. And okay, let me ask a question. Butter added into the water, a ball of added into the water, water added in a bowl where butter is there, versus water put into milk. Exactly, right? Milk is affected by that water, but when the same milk has been transformed into butter, it is not affecting with the milk. It is floats, it doesn't mix into that, it's separate. That is exactly what we have to condense our bhakti, our devotion, so much so that, the milk transforms into butter. In the same way, we have to condense our devotion. Then what will happen? We are not affected by the three modes of nature, right? Otherwise, what is happening? We discussed last time that, everybody is impacted. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya parata chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhihi samadho na vidhiyate. Somebody can read this?
In the minds of those who are too attached to the sense of enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place.
If somebody comes and complains, Prabhu, I'm not able to focus on chanting, not able to do proper devotional service, then this is the verse Krishna is telling, hey, this is your diseased condition now. In the minds of those who are too much attached to this enjoyment. I'll go before the mirror and then start saying, wow, I look like this, I look like that, and so on and so forth. I'm too much attached to my body, beauty, or too much attached to whatever material things. Then what happens? Our resolute determination goes down. So I do not have the same amount of determination to do anything related to devotional service. That's exactly what is happening, right? That's where what Krishna said to Arjuna, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryogakshema Atmavan. Right? So the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. As I gave the example of milk converting into the butter, so our devotion, our activities, any activity which we are doing, if we can take the guidance from an expert, transform those material activities into spiritual activities, then our bhakti will become condensed like butter, and that's not going to have an impact in the water when it is mixed. Correct? So that's what we have discussed last week. So today we will go for the 2.46. You want to take it forward, Prabhu?
46. Do you do the purport also?
What I do is, Prabhu, I make everybody recite the shloka, and somebody can read the translation, and I don't read the purport. I just speak on the purport and go through the PowerPoint presentation, but whatever you feel comfortable to.
Well, yeah, why don't we explore this verse, and if there's more time, and if you have slides you want to show, you can show it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
So
we will welcome Prabhu by saying, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Hari
Hari Hari. That's wonderful. Yeah.
so let's chant collective. First off, for always says to all the devotees, Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripasindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vishnu Yavanartha Udapane
Yavanartha Udapane
Sarvata Samplutodake
Sarvataha Samplutodake
Sarvishu Vedeshu
Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu
Brahmanasya Vijanata
Brahmanasya Vijanataha.
Few devotees can chant.
Yep. Yavanartha Udapane
Yavanartha Udapane
Sarvataha Samplutodake
Sarvataha Samplutodake
Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu
Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu
Brahmanasya Vijanataha.
Brahmanasya Vijanataha.
Anyone else?
Yavanartha Udapane
Yavanartha Udapane
Sarvata Samplutodake
Sarvataha Samplutodake
Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu
Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu
Brahmanasya Vijanataha
Brahmanasya Vijanataha.
So we read the translation. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So this is such a beautiful image and verse. It's a very famous concept. How if you have a reservoir, then that's sufficient of so many small wells. Another example we give, like if you have $100, you already have $1. So what are we doing in this universe? We're looking for something. Everyone is seeking something, is it? Yeah, we're all seekers.
Yes.
Yeah, we're looking for something. In life, we're finding out what is it I'm looking for. So, because Krishna is everything and the source of everything, if you get Krishna, you get everything. Isn't it? Yes. So it's very, very deep wisdom to take notice. I'm looking for that's includes everything. So why not just go for that? So similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Like, specifically, uh, the Vedas are the junctions for human beings. This is God's system of gradual upliftment. It's universal. It's not Indian. It's not Hindu. Although that's generally, we see it being more practiced, but it's universal. It's for all people, all beings, even beings who are not yet in human form of life. They are also children of God, as we say, sons and daughters of God. So the Vedas have been enunciated to guide us how to get gradual upliftment. And this is very common in India. We're after gradual upliftment. So we take have a couple. So if you follow a Vedic process, you can get uplifted by that rather than get degraded. So gradually we follow these injunctions and gradually become more and more elevated. The problem is where we think that in itself is sufficient. Just by following some aspect of the Vedic Dharma, then my business. So if we want to go deep in Bhagavad Gita, because he's going to explain, actually, that's not the ultimate. That's not the goal. The temporary benedictions and temporary stages of upliftment of the Vedas. So in the same way, Srila Prabhupada explains that by becoming Krishna conscious, by developing love for Krishna, you already fulfill all the Vedic injunctions. So this is the simple path. It's like Prabhupada says, the one stroke by which all of our needs, desires, ambitions can be fulfilled. So what do you all think of that? How does it sound? It seems very common knowledge here. I feel like I'm speaking to many experts. You already know this. No.
We were not aware of this before.
Yeah. The thing is, knowledge and realization are different. It's one thing to know, but then we have to ask ourselves, okay, so what does that mean for me? How I can practically apply this? Yeah. So there's another beautiful verse in the Gita where Krishna says, Yadate moha kalilam utirvyati tarishisi ta gantasya nirvedo shrotavyasya shrutasya. That when your intelligence has passed out of the dense darkness of illusion, then you'll become indifferent. Everything that has been heard and everything that is to be heard. So it's a situation of our intelligence, where our intelligence is focused. In the ordinary course of life, our intelligence is focused just on the immediate gains, the immediate benefits, what will give me immediate satisfaction. But Krishna is saying that actually, when your intelligence comes to a higher level, then it cannot be satisfied with anything less. The truth is, you cannot be satisfied with anything less than love of Krishna. It will keep you transmigrating. All the Vedic requirements, you go to Swargaloka, you go to heaven, you whatever possible enjoyment you can have there, you get all of that. Still some lack of it. So Krishna is taking us through this explanation, and he's starting this off quite early with Arjuna about the Vedic path, because he wants to gradually bring us to the point of the supreme yoga, supreme path, the path of bhakti, unalloyed devotion. And in this age, that is manifest through Sankirtan. to the yoga of kirtan. Kirtan yoga means we surrender all of our distractions and we absorb ourselves in the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for the Lord's pleasure. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And in this way, we fulfill all of the Vedic injunctions by ideally pure chanting of the holy name. Simply by chanting, simply by moving the lips and the tongue, you become the greatest expert in the Vedas. It's also not possible in this age to execute many of the Vedic procedures. So Krishna is saying everything you could get by this Vedas, it's already achieved when you know the purpose. But what is the purpose of the Vedas? What do you think? Can anyone say what's the purpose of the
To
Vedas?
know Lord Krishna, to know Lord, to understand the supreme truth.
But why do you say that? Don't just say what we want to hear. What do you really think? Like why this Vedic path is given?
To fulfill
Like the manual for the human being.
Yes, Prabhu, someone from online?
to fulfill the desires, various
Go ahead.
desires which a living entity might have.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So when you know why they exist, you can directly fulfill that why. And as we mentioned, that is actually reviving the soul's eternal love for Krishna. That completes the whole picture, so to speak. So those are a few thoughts I'll start with. Does anyone like to add anything or ask any questions?
Necessarily, if somebody, let's say there's a process, they do the following process and they attain what they desired for, doesn't necessarily gets them towards Krishna consciousness, right? I mean, there was this desire. So even the process said, but he's not interested in that. He just did it because he was getting something. Then he's not gonna reach to that. What Vedas are pointing to is Krishna, but he's not gonna reach to Krishna because he was just for the desire. But does it really takes it to Krishna? The real path that Vedas are pointing to is Krishna, but does it really takes the person to Krishna? Because if the desires are fulfilled, then he's only going to stay in his desires.
Yeah, that's true. Some people, as Prabhu was telling, right? People may go and want something. The Vedic scriptures gives what they want, but there is a satisfaction which is not there for that person. Why? Because they have not actually come to the realization that, as Prabhupada is saying, one is part and parcel of Krishna, original constitutional position is servant of Krishna. That's where. So they may achieve, but they're not fully satisfied.
Prabhu, that also means that they have not understood the purpose, the real purpose behind the Vedas, right? If they are still doing, if their purpose is performing sacrifices for sense gratifications or for material appearances, then they have not truly understood the purpose of the Vedas, right?
Yep.
So yes, generally the system is that if you follow the Vedic injunctions, you will start amassing sukriti, piety. So it may not take you directly to transcend, becoming more obedient, and you're developing piety. So gradually you can start rising in the modes of nature. You may not get directly the transcendental objective. Another thing it's going to do is it's instilling shraddha or faith. Because you wanted something, and rather than, like, let's say you wanted some money. So rather than going and stealing from someone, you did some ritual or you prayed to some devata. Then what happened? That priest you thought, hey, this works. So you got more faith in the process. And then by associating with more priests, more qualified Brahmins, your faith is increasing. So gradually you're coming up in your consciousness, and eventually you'll meet a devotee, a pure devotee, and they can directly instill the bhakti shraddha, faith in bhakti devotion. So it's helping in, it may not immediately, it doesn't take you away. You could get distracted by that, but the purpose is that you will become gradually purified, and eventually you'll get association with devotees.
I remember an analogy from Prabhuji. It's like people with
Yeah.
through the straw is taking the stairs.
Anyone else has anything? Any discussion?
I think it's important that when we come to a discussion that we have some need, some query, because just hearing, it's not actually usually enough to make us change. We can hear so many things, but we have to have this desire in our heart. It will change the way we hear. If we're just hearing out of ritual or habit, it will go so deep. But if you have a serious desire, then whatever you hear, it will be like magic. It can bring you so much happiness and satisfaction, because that's what we're looking for. So there's a duty for who's speaking, but there's also a duty of the audience. The audience is meant to be very eager, like on the edge of our seat, like, yes, I am about to get the answer to all of life's deepest questions. If you have that kind of eagerness, so basically for spiritual reality, you good-hearted Indian bodied people, you are naturally inclined spiritually. You want to learn about the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas.
Maybe some now.
But the question is how much? In other words, that's good. But it's up to us. How long do we want to undergo? Can get everything processed in one moment. So that to the next level. First level, you have to be interested. Okay, now once you're interested, how do you become deep? We should become deep devotees. Yeah, it's not light, not just on the surface, like going just with the flow. We're all called to be very deep embodiments of this knowledge. And that's responsibility that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Brahmata Bhumite Bharata. That yes, okay, some of you took birth in India. That's a good qualification check. But then what? Now you have a duty also that comes with that. Your duty, then you have to teach it to the whole world. So that means it's not enough just to be inquisitive. That means we have to go deep. Yes. Yes, why not? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yadi Tekita Hikara Krishna, you should become a guru. You become guru and you teach the knowledge. That's instruction that God gave you. So that changes the approach. Then instead of just something, kind of interesting, it's unique. Wow, now I have a duty. What do you think? Yeah, it's radical. But we're radical also. So this kind of eagerness should be there. Nothing happens without eagerness. We see how busy the materialists are, the billionaires. They wake up before we do. Many of them. They're working longer hours. What? Just for money. So as spiritualists, and we can go deep, in the bottom, but you have to go down deep to get them. They're not on the surface. The surface are the waves, and often the waves is a little bit stormy. It's a little chaotic there. Anyone ever feel like they're in the midst of a storm? Yeah, maybe the economy, maybe the job, or maybe the visa, the family. So many waves can come. Yeah, sometimes we're feeling some suffering, isn't it? Yeah, but that's on the surface. If you go down very deep, have to realize who we are, Who am I really on the deepest level? So that's what this knowledge can give us, but it depends with what mood we approach it. Yeyatamam prapajante. As you approach me, I reward you. So we're trying to, yes, learn the philosophy, but really we're trying to increase and mature the eagerness, the desire, and need this. So that we need the association to help us do that. Those who have that very strong desire. Yeah, I want to know Krishna, not just from a very far distance. I don't want to keep Krishna far away on the altar. I meant my purpose of existence is to come close. This is in our best interest. Prema Pumarta Mahan. Of all these different desirable goals, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, love, Prema. That's the supreme. And if you get that, you get everything else. You'll have the highest Dharma. You'll even get transcendental enjoyment. You'll be transcendently taken care of. So if you get that Prema, Pumarta, then you automatically get all the lower steps of the Vedas. Just as if you're in the ocean, you have no need for wells. Very good.
Hare Krishna.
So you can take it from here if you want to ask a question. Do a slideshow for the project. If anyone else wants to add a question or comment, or you can challenge. Maybe it's not sounding very good.
Anything, anybody has any other thoughts going on? Want to share?
Very well. A small question, small doubt, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat. So, Prabhuji, earlier Vedas,
Yes,
we
Prabhu, please go ahead.
understand, yeah, we understand that Vedas were not written. They were passed on in the form of hearing from generation to generation. Only before the onset of Kali Yuga, uh, did the Vedas were written by Srila Vyasadeva. Now, in Kali Yuga, even Vyasdev could see, or when Narad Muni could see that there are no qualified brahmanas, there are no qualified. So the only scripture that would make sense, that would help the Kalyugites, so to say, is Srimad Bhagavatam. So why there was a necessity to write Vedas? Earlier, we could understand that Vedas were passed on generation to generation form of hearing, but in Kali Yuga, why it was written specifically for Kali Yuga, when they know that there were no qualified brahmanas, then no one would have time to even read Vedas. So why it was written in first place? We understand why it is there. The Vedas are there, but why it was written specifically? There must be something in for Kali Yuga, or are we missing? Am I missing something? Sorry.
Prabhu, were you here last week?
Yeah. The flowery words of
Let me just ask
Vedas.
you a question.
Yeah.
Do you remember everything that Paramatma Prabhu said?
Right. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that
A
makes
little
sense.
bit.
So the
Yes.
flowery
The
words
point.
of Vedas,
Hold on,
yeah,
Prabhu. Hold on.
yeah.
So the point is, our memory is very much reduced in Kali Yuga. For this reason, Vyasadeva compiled the Vedas, knowing that we will be very poor in memory. In the other times, just by hearing, you'll remember perfectly from your guru. So you don't need to write it down. But if we don't write something down, we'll forget it, isn't it? You just proved the point. So
Right.
it's true for not just you, for all of us. I cannot remember what I was doing yesterday. You know, uh, our memory. We heard some class. Maybe we can remember 1 point. If we get 1 point, it's like a big success. So for that reason, you cannot go very far with Vedic knowledge unless you can actually, first of all, remember it. So he said, therefore, I'll put this in writing. That way, even if you forget it, like how many times we've read Bhagavad Gita, but here I have the book, so now I can just read it. It's not a too much strain for my brain, because we have Kali Yuga brains. I think that's the point, Prabhu. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay, there is
Yep.
one more.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Survi Mataji, you have some question, please go ahead.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So I have a question. You said few minutes back that reading Vedas gives you Sukriti. So even if you are I just want to understand the concept that even if you're not reading the exact Sanskrit shlokas of Vedas, but getting to know about their teachings via some guru through some lessons, then also you're getting the Sukriti, or you have to sit and read the Sanskrit shlokas like page by page. Only then you will get the Sukriti.
Thank you so much for your nice question. The important thing is understanding. It's not about the specific mantras. We chant the mantras because it purifies us. For example, the verses of Bhagavad Gita. But what's more important is the understanding. So therefore, we have this Bhagavad Gita in maybe 100 plus languages. And not everyone is reading the Sanskrit. So this piety, Sukriti will come by understanding. And that doesn't depend on language.
Okay,
Now,
so
when we chant the Maha Mantra, we do chant the Maha Mantra. This is the most important mantra that we chant, because these are specifically empowered names for this age. So that mantra everyone has to know and chant. But beyond that, it's not required even to know Sanskrit.
yes, Prabhuji. So for mantras, I understand it's a chanting of mantras. And as you said right now, that it's the understanding of the scriptures. But specifically for Srimad Bhagavatam, so even if we are hearing about Srimad Bhagavatam, the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam through various sources and understanding it, then also somewhere we are getting the Sukriti or somewhere blessings of it, right?
Yes, maybe
Because
they speak it in Hindi, in Marathi, in Bengali, in Urdu, or Marathi, or so many languages are there. There's no rule. You have to only read it in Sanskrit. It
yeah,
may
and
help you. It can help you, but it's not actually required. We do it. We recommend it, but that's not the main point for building the Sukriti. There's a lot of concepts where people think you have to chant and do the ritual. The ritual, that's the material benefits. You have to chant the mantras to get the fruits. When you're doing big yagyas, you have to chant the mantras perfectly to go up
that smoke can take one to Swarga Loka in previous times because they could chant so perfectly the mantras. But again, in Kali Yuga, we don't have such power. Prabhupada would say there are not such qualified Brahmins who can perfectly utter the mantras. So in a religious point of view, many Indian people think it has to be the mantra, it has to be the fire. No, ultimately we're practicing bhakti, which is more a matter of the heart and of understanding. So by understanding the Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, your faith will increase.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you so much. Anything else, anybody? Preaching, okay.
I do teach a lot without practice. I've been successful many times, but not every time. So does that make me a better teacher?
Oh, okay.
Good question.
Okay, just for the interest of all the people online, one of the Mataji here is asking, she does preaching, okay, and does that preaching help in improving devotion?
Pretty common. So does that make me a devotee?
Yeah, does it make me a devotee?
Yes. So one thing is that trying to share the message or preaching is actually always a success, you know, because saying sometimes it's a success, sometimes it's a failure, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But just taking that effort, that's successful. Yeah, Krishna's pleased by that. So we have a saying a lot in ISKCON that books are the basis, preaching is the essence. It's a very relevant point because we were talking about how you all have a duty. Maybe I have a duty also, but we all have this duty to try to share. So it's a very relevant question that does that make us, now the language you use is a little unique. Does that make me a better devotee? I'm not sure in what sense you mean a better devotee, like better than someone else.
Oh my God, no.
No, okay, just, yeah, okay, no worries. So does it make me more dear to a good devotee? Yeah, so also where these words are a little delicate, being a good devotee or a bad devotee. I think it's a little, it can be misleading. So the point is that when you try to share Krishna consciousness, you get endowed with mercy. Did you feel something when you were able to help your friend learn about chanting? So you have your answer there. So when you share, some special magic happens. Why? Because Krishna's in their heart, and he's been knocking on their heart for a long time. That person was maybe not answering, but then you came. What's your name? Harshini came, and she got to get them. So Krishna said, he said, "Wow, thank you, Harshini. I was trying to do that, and now you're helping me." So that's why preaching is such a special mercy. So definitely we get a special reciprocation from Krishna, and the covering gets clear, the heart gets more pure. So it's I would say that preaching deepens our devotion. Let's put it that way. Makes us good devotee. That's a relative thing. It's hard to measure what's a good devotee. So on one level, we're trying to become devotee. We're still practicing. We're practicing to become a devotee. And that will infuse us with mercy, by which we'll get more faith, we'll get more taste. So I think definitely the overall answer is yes to what you're asking. That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to add one point here. So Mataji, so just one more point to add. As Prabhu was rightly saying, we are all trying to become a devotee. Now, am I a good devotee? You know, that needs to be told by a spiritual master or the devotees around us that, you know, we are really doing good in it. I can't certify myself, but I can try to become a devotee. And to your question, yes, it will definitely benefit when we are preaching. It's for our purification first. The happiness when we preach is not that, I made a devotee. The more the happiness is, Krishna, you used me in your service. That is giving a satisfaction. Somebody else is becoming a devotee, that is up to him and the devotee, right? But you used me, you gave me that service to speak about you to this person. And for that, I am grateful to you and thankful to you. So there is no chance of becoming proud that, hey, I am somebody, no, so-called, so far, kind of. Make sense? Anything else? Then let's go on with this one.
Yeah, I want to see the movie now.
Movie? No. Is that? Oh my God. So we did 46. Okay, anyways, this was something which we didn't cover last time. Huh?
Screen share.
Oh, screen share, correct. Very good, Prabhu. You are very good at that. Let me share my screen now. For the people who are online, they will know this. Okay, here is the Vedic knowledge, which has been divided into two, called as Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is not a girlfriend's name, or whatever. I'm just saying, just joking. People know. Shruti and Smriti. What is that? Shruti is called revealed absolute truth. Every word unchanged, eternal. Right? And what is written on Smriti side?
Composed by sages, wording from age to age.
From age to age. Right? So Smriti is a documentation. Correct? And Shruti is directly coming. It's revealed knowledge. Now here you see Vedas, Upavedas, Vedangas, they all come into the category of Shruti. Okay. Now Vedas, we know 4, right? And Vedangas, there are couples. Okay. You don't need to memorize anything or no, just for the information. Okay. So on the right side, Smriti, again we see there, what is that? I'm not able to see that. Rituals, right? And there's tantras, pancharatras,
This can be
Puranas. Yeah, I think little better. Correct. Puranas, okay, and all those itihasas and 6 darshanas. Okay, so all these are different types of Vedic knowledge. So don't worry about it. What is what? Okay, it's just for information. This all is together called the Vedas. Okay. Definitely the intention is not to go in detail. That was made for some other class where we want to go into deeper. This is not a class to go into detail, right? So anyway, let's see here. A very interesting point here. As all purposes, small well can be served by a great reservoir of water. In the olden days, in the villages, we used to have these wells. And I don't know how many people know about this in India. I remember when I used to go to my grandmother's place, there is one well which is used only by the Shudras for washing clothes. That's all, period. Nobody else can go there. That's it. And there is one well only for the Brahmanas. Okay, only pujaris and that. Those fellows should never come here. So those wells were there, like purposefully they are made. This is for this activity, that is for that activity.
She remembers us. Was
You remember?
that in your town?
Still have, yeah, that's true, No, but then every well, there was so many other intentions why we had a lot of things. But the interesting thing here is when we have a reservoir of water, a big body of water, correct? So many purposes can be served. And that's exactly the Vedas are. And it's a huge So many purposes can be served. People who want fruitive activities, jump in, find it out, your Karma Kanda section, get your thing and be happy. Okay, at least you're following the Vedic scriptures rather than, as Prabhu was saying, right? Rather than stealing, okay, or doing some sinful activity, one is following the Vedic codes. That's good. So in the same way, some people are interested in yoga system, some people interested in some other things they want in this life. So all kinds of things are together. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, Gnana Kanda, and Vedas also have bhakti in it. Okay. So whoever wants whatever they want, they can get it. Now, for example, Yajurveda, one of the branch of the Yajurveda is what Ishopanishad, where Srila Prabhupada has written the commentary on it, right? Ishopanishad. So in that way, there are a lot of things which are there. So that's where we understand all the things, just like from this big body of waters, we can fulfill all the desires by serving Krishna. The center is Krishna. Whatever the benefits you get by serving all other demigods, same thing we will get it. Just like Prabhu said, right? If you have $100 means you already have $1. You don't need to search, oh, do I have $1? You already have it. So when we serve Krishna, we have everything else. That's the point there. So these are some of the discussion points from the purport. Okay. So if you just want to go through 328. Okay.
What time you?
Yeah. By 3:50 or something like that. 4 o'clock we have meeting. So 10 minutes before I start. So here are some of the points. Highest perfection stage of Vedic knowledge is revival of Krishna consciousness. And how? What to read?
Purpose of rituals and sacrifices of Vedas. Gradual development of self-realization. Purpose of self-realization, to know Krishna and our relationship with Krishna, eternal part and parts. Conclusion, revival of relationship is the highest perfection.
So this is a step-by-step what we can see here, right? So rituals and sacrifices in the Vedas, when we perform, it's eventually or gradually we will come to a platform of self-realization. Who am I? Right? That's the point which we get. Actually, in the Vedic scriptures also, 3 levels, right? Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Gnana Kanda, right? Kanda means a section. In Sanskrit, Kanda means Khanda is a section. So in the entire Vedic scripture, it's a very broader level, 3 levels, right? 3 types. Karma Kanda is the thing, hey, I do this, I'll get money. I'll do this, my health will be progressing, or I do this, I'll get something else. I get married, whatever, right? So by performing, like in India, in the astrology, we hear, right? Somebody has a problem. A mother and the father are trying to get married his daughter, but they are not getting a right boy to get married, right? Or sometimes we see that the married people do not get children. After years together, they are trying, they don't get children. So then we hear that, hey, your Shani is a problem, your Rahu is a problem, or Ketu is a problem. We do see that, right? And then they perform it, right? So that is part of Vedic rituals, Karma Kanda. Okay, I do this, I get this. And slowly one will increase. Okay, one will realize, correct? So that, oh, what is this? This Karma Kanda is good, but why am I worshipping this demigod? So he will try to deliberate upon it. Okay, if why only this much, let me understand. Then he will go and do the Upasana Khanda. And they'll become great devotee of one of the demigods there. Okay, if they want, right? In that sense, what is happening? They're increasing their knowledge. They come to the Gnana Khanda. Okay, so in that way, one day one will come to the platform of self-realization. Prabhupada writes, the purpose of self-realization is to know Krishna and the relation with him. Mamevamsho jivaloke jivabhutaha sanatana. So we are all part and parcel of Krishna. So that realization will gradually come. Okay. That is the purpose of the self-realization. When one will know that his relation with him and Krishna is this, okay, he will learn eternally we are connected to him. Okay, part and parcel. Then the conclusion there, what we hear is revival of this relationship is the highest perfection. Correct? And that's going to happen with this process. Prabhu, Arjun Prabhu, you want to read the next one?
B part, right?
Yeah, B part.
Supporting verse for Robert.
That is a reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 33rd chapter and 7th verse. Apobhata swapachu.
One born in dog eater family, but if chance holy name is considered on the highest platform of self-realization, the best of Aryans who have done all penances, sacrifice, Vedic studies, holy baths, many, many times.
So this is very interesting. People may not understand today that we are chanting, we are going to the temple. Oh, it's happening just by chance, right? But it is not happening. Hare Krishna. But it is not happening. You want to share something? We are all ready to hear. Huh? So, what is that what I was saying? So, the point here is the Srimad Bhagavatam is telling us that anybody who has many times have done the sacrifices, have done the rituals, Vedic studies, all such things, taking bath in sacred rivers. Right now, what is happening in India? Kumbh Mela. Right? Once in 12 years, a lot of people go there and do a lot of devotional service, right? So here it is said, someone who has already done multiple times in their previous lifetimes, only those people are getting to a situation where they can chant the holy name of Krishna. It's not ordinary, right? But then think about, I took this Krishna consciousness very lightly, okay? Then, we are like, just like Prabhu was saying, right? The surface of the ocean full of waves. One will hit me so strong, I'll go out of Krishna consciousness. I didn't like this Prabhu. I didn't like this Mataji. And then I'll go out. Those are the waves, tossing waves, right? But Prabhu was saying nicely, we should go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? And that is where we will actually relish what is Krishna consciousness. So here it is said, one who is born even in a dog-eater family, but he has taken up Krishna consciousness seriously, then he is on the highest platform of self-realization. He would have already done all those kind of rituals. And the best of the Aryans, what is the meaning of Aryan?
One who understands the value of life.
Value of life, the purpose of life, right? So now let's see the conclusion here. Let's see, Prabhu, you would like to read?
Conclusion. Best way to fulfill the purpose of Vedanta philosophy, inoffensive chanting of the holy name. Who is the highest Vedantist? One who takes pleasure in chanting holy name. Ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism, to take pleasure in chanting holy name.
So there are 3 conclusions here given, right? So Vedanta philosophy, if it needs to be fulfilled, okay, inoffensive chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Okay. The moment I do an offense, there are lots of offenses, okay, aparadhas, but we have to be very careful. We should learn what we should not be doing. And we simply try to chant in the humble mood of, just like in that verse, Trinadapi suni chena tarorapi sahishnuna manina manadena kirtaniya sada. In the humble mood of, like lower than the blade of grass, tolerant like a tree, and one is ready to offer respect to everybody and don't expect anything from anybody. If one can maintain that, then he can continuously chant the holy name of Krishna. Then he will get the, what is that called, attraction. Okay. So first of all, we should get attraction. So Lord Krishna is so attractive. He makes an attraction to us. What is Krishna consciousness? We like, some people like kirtan, right? Some people like studying the Vedic scripture. Some people like, doing some services. But majority of everybody likes one thing. What is that?
Prashadam.
Eating prasadam. Right? Generally saying, right? Most of the people will like eating prasadam. So the Lord has made an arrangement that, we all take it very sincerely, chant the holy name of Krishna. Okay. First we become attracted and then we become attentive, right? For example, giving an example, we are going in the shops. For example, I got to see a jewelry shop and got to see some jewelry ornaments, right? So they're first attracted. And then what happens? Attention goes, oh, let me see this. Oh, this, I think my sister had this. Oh, I think I had this one. Oh, that is something. Now what has happened? Attraction to attention, right? And attention leads to absorption, correct? Because everything is absorbed, okay? So that is on a material platform. When we do our devotional activities, absorption will increase even here, right? And then who is the highest Vedantist? One who takes pleasure in chanting the holy names of the Lord. Okay, there are devotees, yesterday we were talking about, there are devotees who are chanting 32 rounds every day. Okay, there are devotees who are chanting 64 rounds. If you go to Vrindavan, you'll find those people. Okay, and think about how can they chant like that, right? So this is all the, they're attaining that rasa. Okay, we may not get it today, but when we practice, we get it, right? And ultimate purpose of all the Vedic mysticism is to take pleasure in chanting holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that is how we do this chanting of the holy name. I think it is 3:37. Okay, we can conclude this here. Any questions? Any other thoughts?
Prabhu, the word you used is chanda,
Excuse myself.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. All right. Great. Yes, Prabhu, you had something?
Yeah, the word used for the person who is lowest born, born in the Gaudiya family is called Chandal, right?
Chandala. Yeah, it's called Chandala. Chandala means he's a dog eater. Okay. Who is going to eat dogs? I don't know. In America, they'll put a case on him. How can he eat a dog? Right?
In some countries, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. So
Even though so dog eaters also like chanting.
yeah, what is the point here is any dog eater who picks up the chanting of the holy name means for some reason they would have taken birth, but he has taken seriously this chanting of the holy name. He's going to become a Vaishnava. Eventually they will leave it, right? Now, we saw this devotee, is born in, not in India, definitely, in America, but then how seriously he has taken it up. He is a brahmachari. He is not gonna, he wanted to dedicate the entire time for Krishna. Well educated, so what? There are people, right? You see here Radhesham Prabhu, right? Last time we got, he is a gold medalist in IIT Mumbai. If he want a job, he'll get a very good job. Okay. But he dedicated his life to Krishna. We are trying to do a couple of things, mixed things, correct? That is, we are trying to do a job, we're trying to study, we are trying to do things, and then devotion. So it all depends, correct? Anything else? Or you want to do one more?
One more.
Yeah, I can go ahead. Time is there. Very important verse here. Most famous verse the entire world knows. I mean, India knows. What is this verse? Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhu mate sangot swakarmani. So let us read. You want to read? You want to read?
Prabhuji, we lost the screen sharing.
Oh, sorry. I am going to do that. Perfect, Prabhu. Okay. Go ahead, Prabhu.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty.
What are the points here? What right do you have?
To perform your prescribed.
And what right we do not have?
Over the result.
Over the fruits, correct? Results. So how clearly Krishna is telling, don't worry about the results. You only worry about what you are supposed to do in a right time, right thing, correct? As a student, I am supposed to study well, right? So I study well. As a student, I want to excel in my studies. That's what is important. As a householder, I do whatever the things are. Result is not in our hand. Now, there may be a question then, should we have any targets? If we are not worrying about the result, should we have any targets in our life? My question to you all, I want to hear.
Yes and no.
Yes and no? Okay.
Yeah.
How many people say yes? He said both. Okay. How many people say yes? We should have targets? Okay.
Definitely yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Okay.
should have targets.
Okay. And
Targets to reach.
targets to reach,
To
right?
reach Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
I mean, it was.
Then
It's not mine, but I was learning to do that.
no, that should be all ours. All of us should have the target to go
Yeah,
back
I
to
have
God.
recently realized that point.
Yeah.
Recently only I have realized.
So then, how do we understand or reconcile the point? At one side, people are saying yes, we should have a target. Anybody who is saying no, we should not have a target. Anyway, result is not in our hand, man. No, probably I may say, what's the point in having a target when I cannot reach or I don't have to be attached to that.
Prabhu, the target should be, we should have a target definitely, but then what is the use of that goal? We should use that to serve Krishna in a better way. If we even have a material target, but then the purpose should be to serve Krishna in a better way. The entire purpose should be to serve Krishna. No we telling that thing, that achievement, even if it is material.
No, that is a devotee answer. No, I'm not a devotee. I'm just listening to this. I'm not a devotee.
Yeah, the phrase itself tells, right, to perform a prescribed duty. So every duty will have its own target.
Okay.
So, but we should not be mindful about the results what we get when we do that duty.
No, that is wonderful. We should not be mindful of the result, but then everyone is accepting we should have a target. When we have a target,
Firstly, your target or whatever you desire should not be your comparative.
Comparative, okay.
Else, like everyone has their own journey or own way of
Okay.
reaching it. And your target, ultimately, you have a professional goal, social goal, or a personal goal, should give you a peace of mind. It
Okay.
should not, like you do your duty. At the end of the day, we always say, right, if I go to bed as a happy person or a satisfied person, it's the right way of living a life.
Okay.
So I just feel that when you perform your duty, it should give you a peace of mind. If you don't like your duty, don't do it. It's simple. It might be wrong for others that you're not doing it, but your heart is not there or you don't feel it right, then don't do it.
Okay. What are the other
Maybe
thoughts?
in one way, Prabhu, the target is the straight path, like for the distraction. If we have a certain target, so we can our mind gonna focus, so we can avoid the distractions.
Probably, yes, of course. We're gonna have targets. We're gonna work towards it. But at the end, if something doesn't goes right as per we wanted it, we should not be dwindled by that. Because what we were focused on is
We should be equipoised. We should not tolerate the duality.
Learn to
of course,
tolerate.
do your work determined, be deterministic, do the hardest work, doing everything in the right way possible. But if the result is not there, because your target, let's say $1 million by 2030, but if you do not have $1 million, think about it. You worked hard, okay, you did everything that you thought, but it's not there, that's not possible. Then do not just get dwindled. Okay, then in 2031 January 1st, I died.
Okay.
Just that's not the thing. You don't get the result or some other things.
But I just feel it's a human nature. How many of us can control it? We all know that. I'll take a very simple example. Two teams are playing.
Okay.
One loss.
Two teams are playing. One will lose anyway. One has to win means one other fellow has to lose.
Our team lose, like if you're supporting India and India is losing it, why do you feel bad? As he said that if you're not able to achieve the target, he might have given 6 years or 7 years. How many percentage in this world will not feel sad? They will feel content with just their hard work and not their result. It's a theoretical thing that you to say that, I won't feel bad if I don't get this. But ultimately, I don't think anyone in this room will say that I have put like years or forget years, only just hours of efforts. And if I don't get the result, of course, it's a human nature to feel that emotion of being sad or being disappointed at this.
Yeah. There was one comment raised the hand here. Surabhi Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I was saying something similar that everyone is saying, that you should have a target with the right intent, and you should make sure that your intent is right, and do your efforts, but don't get too much attached to the result, because some part of attachment would be there towards the results. It's hard to be fully non attached, but but be prepared, give your 100%, and if it is not working, then it is not working, maybe something better is there. Just have a mindset like that. In that way you won't you can practice being non attached to the results, because we cannot take actions by thinking about the consequences. We should take actions by thinking about what is right to do at that time.
Very nice. So what we will do is, I know I'm seeing the time here. We hardly have another very few minutes. So I would appreciate if you can go and read this purport, and then we go down in detail. But definitely now, let us understand here. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty. Now, duties, one has to understand that prescribed duties are essential. Why should we do the prescribed duty?
Because inaction is sinful.
Inaction is sinful. Very good point, right? Arjuna said, I will not fight. Why he said, I will not fight?
Because he was thinking on a bodily platform, because he was too attached to his relatives on the bodily platform.
Okay, his point is, when I kill everybody, I don't enjoy. Now, just now, your name, Prabhu? Shyam Prabhu. Shyam Prabhu just now saying, we were trying to discuss, when I don't like something, I don't do it, right? That's exactly Arjuna was telling. Oh, Krishna, by killing everybody, with whom am I going to enjoy? So why even should I fight? Let me give up fighting. Correct? So here, what is happening is, you are not entitled to the fruit of action. We cannot club those two things. Then we become either positively, what do you say, jollyful when something happens good, motivated, or we get depressed. Okay. And we just can't balance ourselves, right? Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities. You see? Now, this is another tricky thing. Never consider yourself the cause of results of your activities. Now, you are studying and you are getting some good marks. Who is the cause? When somebody is, he's he. Yeah.
Okay, as a non-devotee, it's me who is doing it. But as according to this person, according to a devotee, of course, I am only the power to do the karma is also given by Krishna. The result is also given by Krishna. So where am I doing it?
Yeah. So it's tricky. I know it is little tricky. We are deliberating. We are gonna definitely deliberate a little bit more detail. I'll go on this next week. But please understand here, never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, because there are so many causes for one activity to accomplish actually in this world. 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita explains there are 5 factors which are the cause for any activity to be accomplished. And we are just one among them. That is, our contribution is 20% only out of 5. Okay. Even we cannot say 20%, it all depends. I'm just saying, but it's nothing. Bhagavad Gita did not say we are 20%. Okay, but I'm just saying 5, right? 5 factors are there. So we just can't consider ourselves to be the cause of things. Okay. Now, and never be attached to not doing your duty. What does that mean?
Never be attached to inaction. Never do inaction.
Oh, if I do this, I will get this problem, so let me not do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First thing is, I don't like it. Okay. Second thing, let me take an example. First thing is, I don't like to cook anything at home. Okay, that's my thought. I don't like to cook. But I am a mother. Okay. On top of it, hot summer going on, and I have to cook for my child. Okay. And I don't want. Now, just because I don't like it, I don't like the hot, I don't cook. Means what is he escaping from or she is escaping from? The prescribed duty. As a mother or a father, we are bound to do some duty. We are supposed to do the duty. Okay. After cooking, anyway, my people will not like. Every time they'll put namak nahi hai, ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai. You know, people will say, right? This is not good, that's not tasty. So you people are saying, I'll not do. Like that, so many times we see, even in our office, we don't appreciate an employee. He say, there is no recognition, I'll not do. Correct? That's how they are influenced. So here, these three important things are there. The first line itself, I will be deliberating because prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. There are three things. Okay. So prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Okay. What does it mean?
According to whatever mode of nature you operate under, either talking about the four-fold system, what is your material duty according to the four-fold system? That is your prescribed.
What system?
The four-fold system.
Yeah, Varnashram.
Varnashram, no, not
Okay.
Varnashram, but Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmana, Kshatriya.
Okay.
The caste system, whichever is your prescribed.
That's a Varnashram only. Okay.
Yeah, so Kshatriya, if you're a Kshatriya, then your prescribed duty is to fight because you're operating under the mode of Rajas, mode of passion. Similarly, Brahmana.
That is a point I was trying to hear. You see, we are all affected by three modes of nature: mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So it's a natural tendency for us to do certain things, and there are certain things we obliged to do. You see what I'm saying? If you go to a thief and ask him to lie, ask him to do something wrong, is it not natural for that fellow?
Yeah.
Let me do it. Oh, okay, I got an opportunity. Hey, you know, there is a diamond in this particular place and they're locking at their doors and going out. Can you think about to steal there? Then you'll start making plans. It's natural for that fellow. But if we ask somebody from here, will you feel natural? Why am I going to take, right? So some people are natural to do the business, or some people are natural, okay for them to do a job. For a person who is doing a job, go and ask them to do a business. They say, no, it's a headache, man. More than job, we will work. It is better 9 to 5. There whole day and night, I have to think about my business. So one is prone to be in the mode of passion or prone to be in the mode of goodness or ignorance. That's what here. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. It's not an external imposition on anybody, right? And the capricious work means actions without the sanction of the authority. Authority did not agree it, but I'm doing it. I'm not supposed to kill anybody, I'll kill. I'm not supposed to do this, I'll still do that. Those are capricious activities. The Lord advises that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. Correct? One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of action. We become the cause of action when we are attached to the result. Please understand. One who is not attached to the result, he will not become the cause. Srila Prabhupada, he has spread his Krishna consciousness all over the world. End of the day, he is writing, I am the, insignificant beggar. I didn't do anything. It's all Krishna he did. Because he's not attached to the result. His duty was to follow the instructions of his spiritual master. Go all over the world and preach. Yes, he did that. Some people took it positively. Some people did not take it. That's okay. You know, I am doing my duty. That's all. You see, as long as one is doing the duty, he is not inflicted by the profit and loss. You see, think about the cloth merchant, you know, lot of clothes are there or cloths are there, you know, whatever. He's only a agent who is selling, right? Who is going to get the profit? Will he get a profit if you buy? What he will get?
You get a salary.
He'll get his own salary. That's all. Irrespective of the business going on, whole day he opened the shop on behalf of the owner. Not even a single sale happened. Is it going to impact him? Because he is doing his duty. He is not afflicted by the result. Anybody who is attached to the result, he is afflicted. Krishna is saying, perform the duty only. And Be free. Why you are getting constrained on a result? Yes, goal is there. Yes, I have a goal. Let me work on it and let me do the best. It may come, it may not come. I'm doing my duty. So just be on the duty platform. Now it's our own entire thing is Arjuna is now being taken over the Karma Yoga platform now, correct? And that's how he is now being taught over here in the second chapter.
So, Prabhu, this is Krishna is explained through the angle of Karma Yoga, right? So this is
Correct.
Karma Yoga, right?
Correct. You see, second chapter is the contents is summarized. He's not going to go detail. These are produce anxiety,
I think we lost him now. Haribol, Paramatma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was giving an example that, in Australia, once we all went along with my friend to the casinos, okay, there what happened is he was getting more and more money, more and more money. You see, I know how to play, man. I know how to play, And then he played for 2 hours. In the next 3 hours, he lost more than what he brought. Okay. He thought I am the cause, whatever he did, but, he lose it. Anyways, so we will continue from there, it's an interesting topic. I'm gonna go in deep next week. Okay, let us stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Jai. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavane namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.